In this video, we're going to talk about Nico Rosberg and why he is an unsung hero of Formula One.
It was very, very, very hard. In the beginning, it was just my arms that were really hurting. But at the end of the day, it was my arms, my neck, everything. Absolutely dead.
Yeah, obviously it's impressive. The fact that at the time he was the youngest person to put himself in an F1 car. Obviously after that was Max Verstappen, who first drove an F1 car when he was 17, I believe. But at the time it was Nico being the youngest. And like I say, to have the courage to go in a Formula One car at such a young age, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. The speed of the car, the risk that comes with driving it. And yet he had the bravery to go in there at such a, early time in his career, in his life. And like I said, once again, it just shows the bravery that he had to put himself forward to the task of being an F1 racer. Being an F1 racer. Many people come into the sport young, but the fact that at the time he was the youngest showed he was willing to put himself at the highest level of motorsport earlier than anybody else did at the time.
I think I was very strong. I felt good in the car. I was able to push like hell, a bit like my dad in the old days. Really pleased, to get 2 points with some good overtaking maneuvers and everything.
Yeah, obviously, it's always impressive to get points on your debut, unless obviously you're starting in the best car on the grid. But he wasn't. I believe he started at BMW Sauber or a team of that mode, something like that. But to score points with them on your first ever F1 race, mightily impressive. And the fact that not just that, he also went ahead and got the fastest lap as well in his first ever Grand Prix. Once again, it just shows Nico's skills and ability as a driver. It's very rare that you'll see somebody get a fastest lap on their debut race because obviously they're a rookie, they need more experience. But Nico just slotted into the F1 grid and already hit the ground running.
Yeah, this is my home, I've grown up here all my life, lived here, gone to school here, and so now to win at home.
Yeah, obviously with Monaco, Monaco is the most prestigious Grand Prix circuit on the F1 calendar. So the fact that Rosberg managed to get 3 consecutive wins there is mad. Most people are lucky to even get 1 win or any, let alone 3. Yeah, once again, to get a win at the biggest, most prestigious track back to back to back, it is mad. It's kind of like in football terms, almost winning the Champions League back to back to back in a sense, like what Ronaldo did back in 2016, 17 and 18. So like I said, to win Monaco 3 times shows you've definitely got something about you as a driver, because it's no mean feat, fairly difficult to do. Even just getting 1 win there is something that a driver would cherish and remember forever. But for Rosberg, like I say, my man got 3. I think Nico Rosberg going to Mercedes was an ingenious move on his part because, like I said, similar to how when Lewis went there, a lot of people asking questions, raising fingers like, why the hell is this guy making the move to a fairly unproven team, an unknown team? Nico also decided to make the move like Lewis a bit earlier though, and this was when Mercedes were not a great team. I know that they had Schumacher there, but that was when he was far past his best. But Nico made that brave move to go to Mercedes when they were not really proven, and it paid off massively in the end because he went to one of the most successful teams. He went to a team that ended up becoming one of the most successful teams in Formula One. So like I say, it just shows his ability to make smart decisions, smart moves in terms of transfers, team transfers, like Lewis did a few years later. And obviously that proved to be the best decision Lewis has made in his career. But for Nico, it was also a smart move on his part as well.
Losing engine power.
Yep, copy Nico, we can see it. Nico, box, box, box. Too many problems with the car.
I would like to go to the end.
Okay, so obviously it's known that him and Lewis are obviously friends before Formula One back in their karting days, but when they both got on the F1 grid, they were also battling it out on track as well, as rivals more so than friends. And yeah, in the title fight in 2014, Nico just missed out on getting that Drivers' Championship that year. But like I said, the fact they managed to push Lewis all the way to the final race of the season that year, once again, it's testament to Nico's ability and skill as a Formula One driver. Not many people can push Lewis Hamilton. I know that he was in the same car as him, but Lewis is widely considered to be the greatest Formula One driver ever. So when you've got Nico Rosberg really pushing him, giving him a run for his money, it's impressive. And it speaks volumes, as I said, to how good Rosberg was and kind of underrated, because like I said already, there aren't many people in Formula One that can push Lewis all the way, but that's what Rosberg did that season, and also in 2016 as well. It was mightily close between them.
Excellent drive, Nico. Well done.
Thanks everybody.
to win 7 Grand Prix in a row. Obviously, I was talking about how he won Monaco 3 times in a row. To win 7 Grand Prix in a row, I know that he was in the best car, but even still, you've got Lewis Hamilton, like I say, as your teammate, but he managed to beat him on 7 occasions. Like, if you look at now with Verstappen and Perez, you will never see Perez beat Verstappen in a race head-to-head 7 times in a row and win the Grand Prix, but that's what Rosberg did against Lewis. So that's why I say Rosberg, he was a number 2 driver at Mercedes, but he still had the ability to win several races for them, whereas Checo can only get you 2 or 3 a season. So like I say, Rosberg he has something about him for sure, and he was a talented driver, able to, like I said, get a lot of wins under his belt and push Lewis on many different occasions. The only people that have more consecutive Grand Prix wins, I believe, are Vettel, Verstappen, and I believe maybe Schumacher or Hamilton. So not many drivers have more consecutive wins than this guy, and the people that do, there's a hella illustrious name, some of the greatest names in the sport. He's in good company.
Come on, guys! Come on! Yeah! Awesome, guys! Yeah!
Like I say, in 2016, that's when he won the championship. Like I say, to win a Drivers' World Championship is no mean feat. It's very difficult. Formula One is the pinnacle of motorsport, so to go ahead and win a title there in a sport when it's only 20 drivers is mightily impressive. And like I say, the fact that he managed to not only get the lead in 2016, but also just go on and win it. Maybe there'll be drivers in the lead in the championship, they don't have the ability and the quality to sustain that lead till the end of the season, but Nico had that in abundance, and obviously he came through with the win at the end in 2016, when many drivers may have crumbled under pressure because there was a tight fight between him and Lewis, but he had the composure to just stay cool and just get the world championship, similar to what Verstappen did in 2021 against Lewis. Like I said, but Verstappen, once again, he's a generational talent, could go on to become one of the best drivers in F1 history. So not many drivers, like I say, have the ability to stay cool in a title fight and just see their way till the end, but Nico is one of them.
Yes! World champion!
Okay, so here you can see Nico at Abu Dhabi once again. He's just, he managed to get the championship, like I said, at Abu Dhabi, beat Lewis by roughly 5 points at the end of the season. And like I say, when you finish ahead of Lewis Hamilton, you know that you're a quality driver because Lewis is something special. Like I say, arguably the GOAT of the sport. So it's like the equivalent of somebody winning the Ballon d'Or of Ronaldo in his prime, pretty much, like when Messi won it over Ronaldo, or when Modric won it over Ronaldo in 2018. Like, Lewis is an established F1 GOAT or legend of the sport. So to kind of outdo him in a season, kind of topple him in the championship standings, like, it shows you're a special driver as well. You've definitely got quality. That's not a fluke. You don't finish above Lewis Hamilton if you're not a good driver, unless he's just had an absolutely disgusting season, but he's been at the top. He's been competing at the highest level for a decade plus. This guy means business, but so did Nico, evidently, in that season and other seasons gone by, given the fact he's been able to, as I said, push Lewis, challenge him, finish above him even, and win a championship ultimately in the process.